You are listening to the Novel Writing Podcast, episode 201. I'm your host, Colleen Mitchell. Grab a cup, cozy up, and let's get to writing. Today, I'm going to break down my thoughts on Author Nation 2025, a large authors conference in Las Vegas, Nevada that happens in November every year. 2025 was my second year at Author Nation. The conference took the place of 20 Books Vegas, which was a longtime conference for indie authors put on by Craig Martell of Successful Indie Author. Author Nation 25 was my third author conference ever. The first was Author Nation 24, and the second was Realm Makers 2025. I went to Author Nation this year with the intention of finding more information on narration solutions. Audio formats are increasing in popularity a lot faster than many authors realize. The increase in audio-only readers is either on par or outpacing those who are ebook-only readers. And I have a lot of people ask me if my books are on audio because that's all they listen to or all they have time to read. The major barriers to audio are primarily cost and time to produce, which is why a lot of authors narrate their own work or save up for professional narrators. To be honest, I was floored by how expensive audio is. Sound Booth Theater, a full-cast audio drama studio which operates based on royalty share, actually turned me down because my series doesn't have the reach they want before taking on a project. But if they had, then the production cost would be zero for me. But now that I don't have that option and I don't have the time or the desire to narrate my books myself, I'm left to look between human narrators and AI narration. Now, before you smash the stop episode button, let me be very clear that I do not support generative AI within creative spaces. Anything that, quote, creates, unquote, art, music, books, etc., from a list of prompts is not my jam. You will never see an AI cover on my books, and you will never see me use AI to write. But because audio narration is so expensive and many authors are looking for lower cost options, the AI narration game has really improved in the last few years. I spoke with representatives from Spoken.Press, an AI narration company that uses human licensed voices, which means that actual humans get paid for every time an author uses the AI clone of their voice. This is considered ethical use of AI because of the licensing, and humans are paid for their work and able to narrate far more projects this way than if they did them all one by one. Several narrators who licensed their voices for Spoken were in attendance at the conference, and they all expressed excitement for where this technology is going, and, more importantly, satisfaction for working with Spoken. Now, with that out of the way, one of my big projects for this year is to use Spoken.Press to narrate my books, with the intent that, down the line, I will have enough revenue to pay a full cast of real humans to do my book the justice it deserves. Again, the writing community is split on this particular use of AI. Spoken's booth was right next to a human voices only studio, and honestly, the sparks kind of flew. But my personal stance is that it's not generative. You're free to disagree with me and others on this. Just know that I will never, ever tell someone they have to use AI narration or not. AI is here whether we like it or not, and it's up to us individually to decide how we want to interact with it, with the knowledge that there are authors out there using it wisely. The choice is yours to make, just like it's mine to make for my writing business. Okay, that was exhaustive, but let's move on. Aside from investigating the narration solutions, I attended sessions focused on long-term success as an author. Probably my favorite session in this topic was by Becca Syme, host of the QuitCast podcast and Gallup Strengths certified writing coach. She's worked with over 6,000 people, and she is awesome. What she was talking about is that authors need to take care of themselves with the long term in mind because writing is a long game. We're not in it for a quick buck or just one book. It takes dedication, but it also takes self-care to prevent burnout. I didn't attend many writing craft sessions, maybe one or two, but the ones that I did had really great advice. Specifically a session called Mastering the Human Connection with Lydia Scherer, a best-selling author, and she writes the Love, Lies, and Hocus Pocus series. Basically, the entire audience said that they would buy a craft book on the topic if Lydia wrote it, so fingers crossed that she finds the time. Now, is Author Nation worth it for writers? It depends. It is an expensive conference simply because it's in Las Vegas, where everything is overpriced. Las Vegas is quite literally my least favorite place on this planet, but I go to the conference because I find dramatic value in the conference sessions, meeting and talking with the industry expo people, and networking with fellow authors. This year, I actually met a large group of other Christians, which is something I dearly missed during the 2024 conference. I have already bought my ticket for 2026, and I hear that this year is going to have a longer and likely larger reader event on the weekend. Since I'm planning to have a signing table, that is pretty good news. On the subject of the Industry Expo, this year had a much larger collection of writing and publishing related companies in attendance than last year, and there were many solutions to problems that I've been having but never had the time to really investigate before. It's always nice to get to know a name and a face from companies like BookVault, BookFunnel, Ingram, and others. If you're a brand new author, the conference might be a bit of an overload for you. Author Nation offers virtual-only tickets for the sessions in addition to going in person. That means if you only do virtual, then you'll miss out on the Industry Expo, networking opportunities, and Reader Nation, but it saves you the flight, the hotel, the food. Good grief, is the food expensive. And the always present scent of cigarette smoke, since it takes place in a casino. Oh, and the stench of weed on the Strip. Every time I set foot on the Strip, I'm reminded why I hate it, and weed is up there in those reasons. Moving on, I'd say this: if you can swing it, if you can come with a plan and a purpose, and if you take good notes and make connections, come to Author Nation. But if it feels like too much for you at your stage of writing, just get the virtual ticket. Ultimately, you need to do what's best for your writing business, but know that many times the connections made at conferences like Author Nation, and Realm Makers for that matter, are what catapult authors to success far beyond what they imagined going into it. But if you do end up going, hit me up. I will see you in November. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for joining me, and remember, the first draft is supposed to be garbage. The Novel Writing Podcast is a production of Colleen Mitchell Writes. For more writing resources, including Curios, Tally Inc. author services, and the 60-day novel writing challenge, check out the links in the description.